I'm in the hospital. I had an accident. Broke my back. Tyson, despite being significantly older, unleashed a flurry of vicious blows. The exhibition between Jake Paul and Mike Tyson has been rescheduled for Friday, November 15, and will still take place at and AMP Stadium in Arlington, Texas. Netflix has exclusive streaming rights for Paul against Tyson, which should make for a big worldwide audience. But now Jack is not good in health. He says, I'm in the hospital. I had an accident. Broke my back. I get my brain scanned at the hospital to see what's going on. Got a new big hole right there. The boxing world reeled as news broke that Jake Paul had pulled the plug on his highly anticipated fight against Mike Tyson. This dramatic turn of events comes just days after a video surfaced online, sending shockwaves through the combat sports community. The footage depicted a sparring session between Paul and Tyson that quickly turned south. In the video, Tyson, despite being significantly older, unleashed a flurry of vicious blows on Paul, who appeared overwhelmed and unable to defend himself. This announcement sent the fight world into a frenzy. However, there were also those who supported Paul's decision, commending him for prioritizing his health and safety over a potentially lucrative payday. The incident reignited debates about the ethics of exhibition matches, especially those involving older fighters who might not be in their prime physical condition. Whether this marks the definitive end of the Paul Tyson saga remains uncertain. In his social media statement, Paul did leave the possibility open for a future rematch, provided stricter safety measures are put in place. The brutal sparring session has cast a long shadow over the entire fight, raising questions about Tyson's intentions and leaving Paul with a bruised ego and a shaken confidence. The fallout from the shocking sparring video between Jake Paul and Mike Tyson intensified, as Paul not only canceled the fight but also launched a legal offensive. On top of the social media statement expressing his outrage, Paul's team filed a $200 million lawsuit against Tyson, accusing him of assault. The lawsuit went beyond the sparring session itself. Paul's legal team argued that Tyson's actions were premeditated and malicious. They claimed he entered the ring with the intent to inflict serious bodily harm, not to engage in a controlled training exercise. The lawsuit cited the video evidence along with witness testimonies to support their claims. This legal action added another layer of complexity to the already explosive situation. It sent a clear message that Paul wouldn't tolerate Tyson's alleged brutality and intended to seek significant financial compensation for the trauma and damage to his reputation. Tyson, facing a barrage of criticism and a hefty lawsuit following the sparring incident with Jake Paul, finally broke his silence. In a video posted on his social media channels, a visibly agitated Iron Mike addressed the situation head-on. First of all, Tyson began, his voice laced with a barely contained growl. Let's get this straight. This wasn't some ballet class, this was boxing training. And you gotta respect the damn sport. Tyson then launched into his version of events. This kid, Jake Paul, he scoffed, comes waltzing into the gym, all full of himself, talking smack, disrespecting the legends. He thinks boxing is some kind of YouTube prank. According to Tyson, Paul's constant clowning and disrespectful behavior towards him and his team pushed him over the edge. He was making light of everything, Tyson continued, mimicking my moves, calling me names. I told him to cut it out, showed him some restraint, but he just kept pushing it. Tyson then claimed the sparring session itself escalated organically. We started light, he explained, but then he got cocky, started throwing wild punches, showing no respect for technique. That's when I had to show him what happens when you mess around in the ring. The video then cut to a montage of Tyson's greatest hits, lightning-fast knockouts, ferocious combinations, all seemingly intended as a message to Paul. Maybe, Tyson concluded, his voice hardening. That little taste will knock some sense into him. Boxing ain't a game. It's about discipline, respect, and the will to win. And if you don't have those things, you better stay out of the ring. Tyson's response was met with mixed reactions. Some fans rallied behind him, applauding him for putting a disrespectful youngster in his place. Others saw it as a self-serving justification for unnecessary violence. The lawsuit, they argued, only strengthened the case that Tyson acted out of anger rather than a desire to teach Paul a lesson. Regardless of public opinion, one thing was clear. Mike Tyson was unapologetic. He positioned himself as the defender of old-school boxing values, unwilling to tolerate disrespect towards the sport or its legends. That's why I think there's like a loss of respect there. In a fiery rebuttal to Mike Tyson's claims, Jake Paul doubled down on his accusations and launched a fresh wave of attacks. Taking to his usual platform, social media, Paul unleashed a video filled with equal parts outrage and what some might call thinly veiled mockery. Paul then proceeded to dismantle Tyson's narrative piece by piece. He claims, "I was clowning around. I was there to train, not put on a comedy show." And as for mimicking his move, maybe if he still remembered proper form himself, he wouldn't have gotten so triggered. First, let's talk about the brutal sparring session with Mike Tyson. What started as a training exercise turned into a controversial clash, leaving Paul with a bruised ego and a shaken confidence. The footage shocked fans and critics alike, raising questions about Tyson's intentions and Paul's ability to handle seasoned fighters. The fallout didn't end there. Paul canceled the anticipated fight with Tyson and took legal action, filing a $200 million lawsuit against the boxing legend. The lawsuit alleges that Tyson's actions were premeditated and malicious, aiming to inflict serious harm rather than engage in controlled sparring. This legal battle has added a new layer of complexity to Paul's career. Reactions have been mixed. Some fans support Paul's decision to prioritize his safety, while others see it as a sign of weakness. Critics have been quick to mock him, questioning his legitimacy as a boxer. Paul's handling of the situation has left many wondering if he can bounce back. Tyson, on the other hand, has remained unapologetic. In his response, he defended his actions, emphasizing the need for respect and discipline in boxing. Paul's counterattack has been fierce. He doubled down on his accusations, calling Tyson's actions an assault rather than a tough lesson. His lawsuit, now focusing on Tyson's aggression, aims to set a precedent against unchecked violence in the ring. But this move is risky, potentially alienating fans and fellow fighters who see it as a publicity stunt. This remark felt callous and disrespectful. It reignited discussions about the ethics of exploiting someone's potential health issues for personal gain. Paul, however, remained undeterred. So, is Jake Paul finished? It's too early to say definitively. His career has been built on controversy and comebacks, and this might be just another chapter in his unpredictable journey. If he can navigate the legal battles, regain his confidence, and perhaps choose his opponents more wisely, he might still have a future in boxing. Whether he would emerge victorious in court or simply emerge as a savvy self-promoter remained to be seen. But one thing was for sure, the saga of Jake Paul versus Mike Tyson continued to dominate headlines and keep the boxing world buzzing. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for more updates on all things boxing for personal gain. Paul, however, remained undeterred. So, is Jake Paul finished? It's too early to say definitively. His career has been built on controversy and comebacks, and this might be just another chapter in his unpredictable journey. If he can navigate the legal battles, regain his confidence, and perhaps choose his opponents more wisely, he might still have a future in boxing. Whether he would emerge victorious in court or simply emerge as a savvy self-promoter remained to be seen. But one thing was for sure, the saga of Jake Paul versus Mike Tyson continued to dominate headlines and keep the boxing world buzzing. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for more updates on all things boxing.